Just when you think the disaster known as Disney Star Wars couldn't get any worse, another bombshell drops, and trust me, this one is a doozy. Apparently, the highly controversial and absolutely unnecessary Rey Star Wars movie is either on the chopping block or, at the very least, stuck in production hell. And let's be real here. If something is delayed this badly, it's practically already cancelled. This feels more like Disney's MCU Blade situation. Endless delays, creative issues, and everyone's silently agreeing it'll never actually see the light of day. And honestly, good riddance, because you'd have to dig deep to find even the most blindly optimistic Star Wars fan excited for this train wreck. Who even asked for Rey to return? Her last movie bombed, both critically and financially, and turned the Star Wars fanbase into a Civil War battleground. Yet here we are, with Disney trying to milk that dead cow one last time, and, unsurprisingly, it's going as well as you'd expect. Complete and utter chaos. But wait, there's more. Word on the street is that Kathleen Kennedy is finally on her way out. She's reportedly on her last legs at Lucasfilm. And honestly, she's been clinging to the sinking ship longer than anyone thought possible. Kennedy's last-ditch plan was to ride out on a high note, but let's be real, with the Acolyte already a joke, skeleton crew dead on arrival, and now this Rey movie disaster, she's running out of options for her so-called win. I'm sitting here wondering, where does she think this victory is going to magically appear from? Is she pulling it from another galaxy? Because here in reality, her track record is abysmal. And speaking of that record, let's break it down like a sports coach tallying wins and losses. You'd think running Lucasfilm would be as simple as making good movies and, oh, I don't know, making money. But under Kennedy's watch, Lucasfilm has turned into the laughingstock of Hollywood. So let's do the math. And believe me, it doesn't look good for her. First up, The Force Awakens. Yeah, it made a ridiculous $2 billion at the box office. But let's not pretend it was good. It was the first Star Wars film in forever, so of course it printed money. Honestly, it could have been 2 hours of George Lucas doodling on a napkin, and it would have still grossed $1 billion. But okay, we'll give her a win. 1-0. Then comes Rogue One, a visually impressive but bloated movie with a $280 million budget. Sure, it made $1 billion, but when you crunch the numbers with theaters taking half, this thing barely broke even if at all. So, that's a loss. We're at 1-1. Now for The Last Jedi. Let's be honest, this one split the fanbase so badly it practically invented new levels of division, but it still made some money. So, fine, we'll call it a win. 2-1. Then we hit Solo, the movie nobody asked for and everyone ignored. It flopped hard, losing Lucasfilm hundreds of millions. Congratulations, Kennedy. You've now got a 50% win rate. 2-2. And then came The Rise of Skywalker. This one was a true disaster, needing $800 million just to break even, and somehow still managing to lose about $300 million. Add to that its critical failure, and you've got yourself a catastrophe. So now we're at 2 wins, 3 losses. Lucasfilm took a breather from films, probably hoping we'd all forget how bad things had gotten, and then came Indiana Jones 5. Another massive flop. So now she's sitting at 2-4 with only a 30% success rate, and honestly, the money made from her 2 wins pales in comparison to the massive losses she's racked up. And that's just the movies. We're not even touching the TV shows. But if we did, let's just say The Acolyte would be another embarrassing entry in her loss column. So why is this Rey movie likely getting canned? Because Disney knows they can't keep losing money like this. And with Kathleen Kennedy at the helm, that's exactly what's going to keep happening. At this point, it's not even about personal opinions. The numbers don't lie. When you're in charge and your projects flop more often than they succeed, you don't get to keep your job. That's how it works. Even Warner Bros. And DC figured that out. And that's saying something. So, what's next? If Disney does finally boot Kathleen Kennedy and shelves the Rey movie, where does that leave Star Wars? Honestly, they need to take a few years off and do some serious soul-searching. Star Wars used to mean something. It used to be a cultural juggernaut, but under Kennedy's leadership, it's lost its way. So the key to turning this mess around is simple. Create relatable, inspiring characters and stories that actually mean something to people. It's not rocket science, but you'd think it was with the way Lucasfilm's been fumbling. They need a fresh vision, and fresh talent. Because right now, Star Wars is a ship without a captain, and if they don't act soon, they're going to hit an iceberg they can't come back from.